Okay, good morning, hello, welcome to this fine Sunday. I hope you are having a fantastic weekend wherever you are. Good morning, Nikki, welcome, and welcome everybody if you're watching this replay. Yesterday was my birthday. It was also the luckiest day of the year. I hope that you all made the most of that and just had a wonderful day. I think for me I would say it was one of the best birthdays I've ever had. So that was very lucky for me, and I was super spoiled, and I just had a fantastic day. Also yesterday, we released the first level of the brand new One Sourcing program. It was the One Sourcing Level 1, the foundation. And to kind of introduce this brand new concept of, I'm going to call it like a business program for virtual assistants. I also released what I've called Level Up, and if you want to find that, it's at virtualmissfriday.com/level up, and we're going through inside there 24 steps of how to create a successful virtual assistant business. So I thought it would be cool in morning mindset to kind of extrapolate on these steps and discuss them throughout our days ahead. So the first one that we're going to be talking about in morning mindset today is knowledge is power. And the reason I say that is because if you and if I or if anybody was able to really invest time into understanding several things about their business, and this doesn't just apply to virtual assistants, this is pretty much in any kind of business or any kind of industry, then life will be a lot easier, and we will be more well equipped to be able to properly move forward, and we will also be more well equipped to not have the stumbling blocks and the challenges that we might face if we didn't already know this knowledge. Now, the interesting thing about knowledge is power is, for me anyway, a lot of the information that I share inside the foundation, so talking about the foundation of One Sourcing right now, is really stuff that I didn't know in the very beginning. And in the very beginning, there wasn't a lot out there on VA teaching. So a lot of this stuff is more readily accessible now than from when I started. But I've definitely been over the process or the course of the last couple of decades really been learning more and more, and nothing ceases to amaze me. You know, you think at the end of a couple of decades of a virtual assistant and working with so many clients and hiring so many VAs that you think, oh, I've seen it all, until you realize you haven't and something else comes up. Now, I feel like pretty solid at this stage that I have, but maybe in a future update of One Sourcing, we might find more of these challenges or problems. But I wanted to kind of share with you the basis, the foundation of knowledge that you should be acquiring, not just in the beginning, but throughout the course of your business, because it's really going to help you. So think of knowledge of power, the very first step, inside this 24-step process, kind of like a first aid kit. That's what I see this as. The first step is about making sure that you've got your first aid kit, because the 24 steps that you take is a journey. It really is a journey, and along that journey, you know, there might be problems that you face, there might be challenges that arise, there might be, you know, issues that need to be resolved, and basically having this first step and this knowledge is going to allow you to come back time and time again to the point where you can say, how do I fix this? What do I need to do? You know, at what point inside this business program or this training or this journey can I revisit this and try and put a patch on the problem, or heal it or cure it? So knowledge is power is about really understanding a few things. It's about really understanding the industry that you're in. So in this case, virtual assistants, it's about really understanding and knowing the problems not only that your clients face, because virtual assistants is a lot about problem solving and knowing what clients really want and really need and how to fix it and that type of thing, and for sure that's important. So it's about really understanding and knowing the problems that your clients are facing, whatever that may be, but it's also really understanding and knowing the problems that your colleagues are facing and what other virtual assistants in the industry have experienced, because that will really give you a good understanding of how to develop the business in unison with the problems that your colleagues are facing and the problems that your clients are facing. And One Sourcing is a unison business program. It really does tackle all of the solutions to these problems from both perspectives and both sides, which probably I think was the biggest challenge in One Sourcing, because usually things become a little bit one-sided. Was it the client's fault? Was it the VA's fault? And this is a kind of approach where it's not about, it doesn't matter whose fault it was. The only thing that matters is how we fix it and move on from it. So that's the premise behind One Sourcing. But obviously we need to understand and know what we're going to be dealing with and what potentially we're coming up against in order to be able to build that into the program. So it's all about understanding the industry, the problems that your clients are facing, and the problems that your colleagues are facing. That needs to go in your first aid kit. And the other thing that needs to go in your first aid kit is how to prevent and how to cure. So once you know and understand these problems, you can either say to yourself, you can look at them all, they can lay them all out in front of you, and inside the One Sourcing program, they're done like that. And if you go to Level Up, you'll kind of see a general idea of what this means. But you will lay all these problems out in front of you, and you will take a really good look at them, and you will decide, okay, where am I right now? And then you will say to yourself, okay, well, if you're at the beginning of your business and you haven't even got your first client yet, or you haven't even faced any of these problems yet, and you're just kind of, it's the thinking process of, do I become a virtual assistant? How do I get started? You know, what's the best path for me? Then you can use the entire One Sourcing model as a prevention. Okay, now that doesn't mean to say you're not going to have any problems, but you are going to have very few problems in comparison to somebody who has not used the prevention gears, you know. So really, once you start to build your business through the One Sourcing method, all of this preventative measures that I'm aware of are built in, so hopefully you will not experience these, or if you do, it's a simple bump in the road, and then you can go back to One Sourcing and you can figure out, okay, what's the solution, what's the cure? So the other side of things is about knowing how to cure, and that's what the first aid kit is all about. It's about knowledge, understanding, what do I need to do? How do I identify the problem? How do I diagnose the problem? And then what can I do about it? How can I cure it? You know, so obviously if you prevent things, you won't need your first aid kit as much. But the foundation really, and the first part and the very first step is about the first aid kit, the prevention and the cure. So once you are armed with that and you know that, that's a very, very important tool to have. This is the very, very first step. We have 23 other steps after this to go through, but that's the one that I wanted to share and talk with you about today. So if you want access to all 24 steps, you can go to virtualmissfriday.com/level up. But that was today's little tidbit of information, and that's where we begin on our journey, and that's where we start our journey as a virtual assistant, in order to give ourselves that really good grounding for moving forward. Okay, so that's my tip for today. Obviously we are going to head into our accountability. We're coming back tomorrow with another tip, another step, another thing to push us and move us forward. And yes, we're going to go through all the 24 steps every day from now until we've completed. So there's a lot of information and a lot of knowledge that you're going to be getting from me throughout this process. And it will also help you if you are in the one sourcing program, you know, just to extrapolate on these little pieces and the little steps as we go through, because we're going to be a little bit ahead of ourselves in the morning mindset. Then that will also help you, I hope, motivate you on what's to come and the things that are coming forward. So thank you so much. We're going to do our accountability today. It's non-negotiable. Get your journals ready. Now is the time really to focus on goals, to focus on what you want to achieve. You know, we are inside this 3-month process inside Virtual Miss Friday now with the one sourcing process. And really this process is about transforming your virtual assistant business in a period of 3 months. The business program is designed to do that. And at the very least, if you're somebody who's not in action mode right now, and you're somebody that's not ready to take that step forward and that leap forward, at least you will have the knowledge and the understanding of exactly how it's going to work and what you need to do, which in itself is a huge peace of mind, in my opinion. So I hope this helps. That was the first step. Let's now go into our daily accountability, and I hope you have a fantastic end of the weekend as we start our approach into Monday tomorrow, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. Thank you so much. Take care.
Before we begin, don't forget you can join me live online inside Virtual Co-working Space at www.virtualmissfriday.com/VCS. If you enjoy this session, give it a like. I'd love to hear from you, so write me a comment. And so you don't miss any updates, don't forget to subscribe. Let's begin. So now we're going to look for the positive with our gratitude. First, we'll spend 1 minute thinking of the day before, thinking of all the things that happened, reflecting on work, interactions, relationships, memorable moments, and more. Now you'll write one thing down minimum that you're grateful for. You can, of course, write down more. Something good, something that went right, a small moment or a big win. The more you search for things to be grateful for, the more you will experience things to be grateful for. Now we're going to read out your goal. Make sure your goal is written down in a journal or somewhere you can easily access it. Read your goal now, ideally out loud, and commit to this goal. Believe it will happen. And by reading this daily, the universe knows clearly what your goal is, and the things begin to shift in the direction of your goal. Follow your instincts when this happens by taking action. Now you need to see your goal in visualization. Spend this minute thinking about the goal in your mind. See yourself taking steps towards the goal, or even better still, see yourself having already achieved the goal. Close your eyes and go there. Step into the feeling, step into the place, step into the accomplishment. And finally, it's time for your most important task. Set this task for today and make it relating to your goal. This could be something small like sending an email, recording a video, or making a phone call, or it could be bigger. Either way, one task a day is one step forward, and those steps will add up. Do what you can from where you are now. Set the intention, and the action will carry you towards your goal. Well done you for completing your daily co-create session. Have a fantastic day ahead, and I'll see you next time.